Hi, welcome to the channel. Today is the first day of fourth chapter, that is mental healings in ancient times. Before we start, if you are new on the channel, subscribe the channel and press bell icon so that you will get notification about new video upload. Don't forget to like and share. Let's start. Through the ages, people in every continent, climate and culture have instinctively known that somewhere there resided a healing power that could restore the abilities and functions of a person's body to its normal state of efficiency and good health. They believed that this strange power could be invoked under certain conditions and that if it were invoked properly, the alleviation of human suffering would follow. The history of all nations presents testimony in support of this belief. In the early history of the world, the power of secretly influencing men for good or evil, including the healing of the sick, was said to be possessed by priests, priestesses, and holy people. They claimed to possess powers derived directly from God that included the healing of the sick. The procedures and processes of healing varied throughout the world, but they generally included supplications and offerings to the god. Various ceremonies such as the laying of hands and incantations and the use of amulets, talismans, rings, relics, and images. For example, in the religious religions of antiquity, priests in the ancient temples gave drugs to their patients and practiced hypnotic suggestions as they went to sleep. The patients were told that the gods would surely visit them in their sleep and heal them. Many healings followed. The devotees of Hecate were told to mix lizards with resin, frankincense, and myrrh and pound all this together in the open air under the crescent moon. After performing these bizarre and mysterious rites, they prayed to the goddess, took the option they had just compounded, and went to sleep. If their faith was strong enough, they saw the goddess in a dream. The rite, which sounds so strange, even fantastic to our ears, was often followed by healings. People in ancient time worked out many effective ways to tap the incredible power of the subconscious mind and use it for healing. While they knew that these procedures worked, however, they did not understand how or why they worked. Today, we can see that they were using potent suggestions to the subconscious mind. The rituals and potions and amulets appealed powerfully to the imagination of people and favored the acceptance by the subconscious mind of the insistent suggestions given by the healer. But the work of healing was done by the patient's own subconscious mind. In all ages unofficial, healers have obtained remarkable results in cases where authorized medical skill had failed and the patients had given up hope. This gives cause for thought. How do these healers in all parts of the world affect their cures? The answer is that these healings take place because the blind belief of the sick person released the healing power resident in his or her subconscious mind. The more fantastic and peculiar the remedies and methods used by the healers, the more likely the patients were to believe that anything so strange must be unusually powerful. Their aroused emotional state made it easier for them to accept the suggestion of health in both their conscious and subconscious mind. This point will be discussed at greater length in the next chapter. Biblical accounts on the use of subconscious powers. What things whosoever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Mark 11, ratio 24. Read this passage and pay close attention to the difference in tenses. The verb believe and receive are in the present, but the verb shall have is in the future. The inspired writer is telling us something of the greatest importance by this seemingly a minor difference in the grammar of the sentence. If we believe and accept as true the fact that word our desire has already been accomplished and fulfilled, that it is already completed, then its realization will follow as a thing in the future. The success of this technique relies on the confident conviction that the thought, the idea, the picture is already fact in mind. In other order for anything to have substance in the realm of mind, it must be thought of as actually existing. Here, in a few cryptic words, is a concise and specific direction for making use of the creative power of thought by impressing upon the subconscious the particular thing you desire. Your thought, idea, plan, or purpose is as real on its own plane as your hand or your heart. In following the biblical technique, you completely eliminate from your mind all consideration of conditions, circumstances, or anything that might imply a negative outcome. You are planting a seed concept in the mind that, if you leave it undisturbed, will infallibly germinate into external fruition. The prime condition that Jesus insisted upon the faith over and over again you read in the Bible. According to your faith, is it done on up to you. If you plant certain types of seeds in the ground, you have faith they grow after their kind. This is the way of seeds, and trusting the laws of growth and agriculture, you know that the seeds will come forth after their kind. The faith that is described in the Bible is a way of thinking, an attitude of mind, an inner certitude, 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 knowing that the idea you fully accept in your conscious mind will be embodied in your subconscious mind and made manifest. Faith is, in a sense, accepting as true what your reason and senses deny. It is dozing down, refusing to listen to the little rational, analytical, conscious mind, and embracing an attitude of complete reliance on the inner power of your subconscious mind. Here is one of the best known example of the biblical technique of healing. And when he was come into the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus said unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith, be it unto you. And their eyes were opened, and Jesus straightly sternly charged them, saying, "See that no man know it." Matt 9 ratio 28 30. By saying, "According to your faith, be it unto you," Jesus was openly appealing to the operation of the subconscious mind of the blind men. Their faith was their great expectancy, their inner feeling, their inner conviction that something miraculous would happen, that their prayer would be answered. And therefore it was. This is the time honored technique of healing, utilized alike by all healing groups throughout the world, regardless of religious affiliation. In saying, "See that no man know it," Jesus was urging the healed patients not to discuss their healing with others. If they did so, they might be harassed by the skeptical and derogatory criticism of the unbelieving. This in turn might have tended to undo the benefits they had received at the hand of Jesus by depositing thoughts of fear, doubt, and anxiety in the subconscious mind. For with the authority and power he commanded the unclean spirits, and they came out. Luke 4:36. When the sick came to Jesus to be healed, they were healed by their own faith, together with his faith and understanding of the healing power of the subconscious mind. Whatever the degree he felt inwardly to be true, he and the people needing help were in the one universal subjective mind, and his silent inner knowing and conviction of the healing power changed the negative destructive patterns in the patient's subconscious. The resultant healings were the automatic response to the internal mental change. His command was his appeal to the subconscious mind of the patient plus his awareness, feeling, and absolute trust in the response of the subconscious mind to the words that he spoke with authority. Miracles at various shrines throughout the world. On every continent, in every land, there are shrines at which cures take place. Some are world famous, others are known only to those who live nearby. Whether celebrated or obscure, the healings that happen at these shrines happen for the same reasons and by way of the same powers of the subconscious mind. I have visited several of the famous shrines in Japan, the central focus of the world renowned shrines of Debatus. Debatus. Debatsu is a gigantic bronze statue 42 feet tall. It depicts a Buddha seated with folded hands, his head inclined in an attitude of profound contemplative ecstasy. Here I saw young and old making offerings. At its feet, money, fruit, rice, and oranges were offered. Candles were lit, incense was burned, and prayers of petition were recited. I listened to the chant of a young girl as she intoned a prayer, bowed low, and placed two oranges as an offering. She was thanking Buddha for restoring her voice. She had lost her voice, but it was restored at the shrine. Her simple faith that Buddha would give her back her singing voice if she followed a certain ritual, fasted, and made certain offerings had helped to kindle faith and expectancy. The result was a conditioning of her mind to the point of belief. Her subconscious mind then responded to her belief. The power of imagination and blind belief cannot be overstated. A wondrous example of this is the case of a relative of mine in Perth, in Western Australia, who suffered with tuberculosis. His lungs were badly diseased. His son decided to help his father heal himself. He went to his father's home and told him he had recently met a wandering monk with strange powers. This monk had just returned from a long stay at one of the most celebrated healing shrines in Europe. There he had acquired a small fragments of the true cross set in a ring that dated back to the Middle Ages. Over the centuries, countless sufferers had been healed after touching the ring or the fragment of the cross. When the son had heard this, he had told the monk about his father's illness and begged to borrow the ring. The monk had agreed. The son then gave the monk a free will offering of the equivalent of $500. When the son showed his father the ring, the older man practically snatched it from him. He clasped the ring to his chest, prayed silently, and went to sleep. In the morning, he was healed. All the clinic's tests proved negative. Healings of this sort happen all the time. What is most magnificent about this one is that the son's amazing story was totally made up. In fact, he had picked up a splinter of ordinary wood from the sidewalk, taken it to the jeweler, and had it set in a gold ring of antique design. He then gave it to his father. Of course, it was not the splinter of wood from the sidewalk that healed the father. No, it was his imagination aroused to an intense degree, plus the confident expectancy of a perfect healing. Imagination was joined to faith or subjective feeling, and the union of the two brought about a healing thought, the power of his subconscious mind. The father never learned of the streak that had been played upon him. If he had, he might well have had a relapse. Instead, his tuberculosis never returned. He remained completely cured and passed away from other causes 15 years later at the age of 89. Okay, we will start one universal healing principle in the next session. If you are new on the channel, subscribe the channel and press bell icon so that you will get notification about all videos uploaded. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much.